Hi, everyone. Today we will be presenting the Exxon-Valdez case study.
First up, I will be introducing the company, which is ExxonMobil, and they are a multinational oil and gas corporation. The company was formed in 1999 through the merger of Exxon and Mobil, which were two of the largest oil companies in the world. ExxonMobil is known for its focus on technology and innovation, with significant investments in research and development across all areas of business. The Exxon-Valdez spill that will be discussed in our case study had significant economic impacts, particularly on the fishing and tourism industries in the affected area. The cleanup efforts were expensive and difficult, and the spill resulted in a number of legal battles and settlements. Next up, we'll be talking about the case description, which the Valdez oil spill occurred on March 24th, 1989, and was one of the worst environmental disasters in U.S. history. The Exxon-Valdez oil tanker ran aground in Prince William Sound, Alaska, and spilled an estimated 11 million gallons of crude oil into the ocean. The spill had significant and long-lasting impacts on the environment, wildlife, and local economy. In the years since the spill, Exxon has continued to face criticism and legal action related to its handling of the disaster and its environmental record more broadly. The Exxon-Valdez spill is widely seen as a turning point in public awareness of environmental issues and the need for improved safety measures and response capabilities in the oil industry.
The first applicable theory is the situational crisis communication theory. The nature of the Exxon-Valdez crisis was based around the repercussions of a spill in a specific location. There are multiple unfolding situations from the original crisis that needed to be addressed and communicated in different ways, depending on what new situation arose. The next theory is the coordinated management of meaning theory. The lack of coordinated communications, including messaging and delivery, both with internal and external audiences, created confusion and concern with the public and media who covered the issue. The next theory is the image restoration theory. Exxon has always been lauded as a company with a high-profile image, as it is considered a Fortune 500 corporation with offices all over the globe, producing a product that is critical for consumers. This crisis showcased how the company failed in taking immediate responsibility and regret for the situation and therefore damaged its reputation, taking years to restore its image. The last theory is the stakeholder theory. Exxon leadership did not appropriately map its key stakeholders and have plans to communicate with each of them prior to or during a potential situation. This crisis demonstrated how important it is to know your stakeholders and audiences and have a scenario for each one to guide a sound communication strategy. The CEO responds. Exxon's chairman, Lawrence G. Rowell, sent a succession of lower-ranking executives to Alaska to deal with the spill instead of going there himself and taking control of the situation in a forceful, highly visible way. This gave the impression that the company regarded the pollution problem as not important enough to involve top management. The company's response to the disaster was widely viewed as inadequate, and it was accused of failing to take adequate measures to prevent the spill and of mishandling the cleanup effort. Rowell and other Exxon officials adopted a more sympathetic tone as the severity of the harm became apparent and public indignation increased. In an address to shareholders in June 1989, Rowell called the leak a tragedy, admitted as such, and vowed to take all reasonable steps to clean up the region and recompense individuals impacted. Despite these efforts, Exxon faced significant criticism and legal action in the wake of the spill, and the company's response to the disaster was widely viewed as inadequate. In the years since the spill, Exxon has continued to face criticism and lawsuits related to its handling of the disaster and its environmental record more broadly.
For the preliminary assessment, the immediate impacts of the spill included the deaths of thousands of marine animals and birds, as well as extensive damage to the shoreline and coastal habitats. It highlighted the need for improved safety measures and response capabilities in the oil industry, as well as the importance of protecting sensitive ecosystems and wildlife habitats. Overall, the Exxon-Valdez oil spill was a major environmental disaster that had far-reaching impacts, both immediate and long-term. So for the next steps in our case study and the lessons that we've learned today, some are the importance of crisis management and stakeholder engagement, transparency and responsibility, having proper media coverage at site for companies. Companies need to have robust safety protocols, contingency plans, and response strategies in place to prevent and manage oil spills. They also need to listen and to address concerns and needs of these groups and work together collaboratively to manage the environmental and social impacts of their operations. The incident highlighted the need for companies to be open and honest about their actions and to communicate effectively with stakeholders, including local communities, government, regulators, and the media. Finally, in Alaska at the time, ExxonMobil didn't have the correct news coverage and wasn't able to record statements and or the situations that were happening. Thank you for watching our presentation